Hello and welcome to another little race I did. This is stage 5A of Flat is Fast for Z Racing January 2023, and we're on the Mech loop. It's not a route I'm particularly familiar with, but it is quite interesting. It is flat except for this bump in the middle, and on that bump it's largely gravel. So the reason that we've set off at such a lick is because some riders choose to go on gravel bikes and go hard on the bump. So some riders on road bikes are putting some pain into them whilst it's still on this magic sand which rolls the same way as pavement. And we're just coming up to the bump now, but it does start, the lower sections are on pavement or magic sand, and then there's these boards. But then as soon as we hit the gravel section, bam, the rider from South Korea flies off, and he's gapped us all quite significantly and has already built up a 4-second lead, and Higgins and Opoka are leading the chase. And I'm trying to grab Higgins' wheel, but he's too strong. So just sitting behind the chase group now, and Bam's already up to a 12-second lead as we go over the top, start the descent, which is still on gravel, and is up to 14 seconds. Now we're back on road, so advantage back to us. And I was just about to take the front when Higgins did the job again. So take his wheel, and he's bringing the gap down 10, 11, 10, 9, 8. And then I take over the reins and reduce the lead down to 5 seconds. And once he comes in sight and it's down to 4 seconds, it's pretty obvious that it's going to come back again, I think. So I decide to get a little bit of rest, sit at the back of the front pack and set myself up from the sprint. And you can see we're just about to catch Bam now. It turns out he's quite a light rider on a gravel bike, as expected, and I'm in a pretty much perfect position for the sprint as we hit 300 meters. So decide to hit it about here, and everyone has formed a lovely train for me to slingshot past, and I hit the front with about 110 meters to go, and no one's got enough momentum to catch me, and I win quite comfortably for this kind of distance race with about 0.4 seconds. And I actually used the highest ever power for any race that I have, both watts and watts per kilogram, though it is the shortest race I've done as well, so that kind of explains it. With little further ado, we're on to stage 5B. So this stage is split into 2 short races rather than one, which all the other stages are. And I was sort of contemplating what counts as a victory on the stage. I'd had a goal for quite some time, ever since Z Racing first came out, to win every stage in a month. And in December, for the Race Like a Pro series, I managed it. I won every single race, every single stage anyway. It came down to the very last race on the very last day at midnight to win the stage 4 on the Three Little Sisters route. Not really suited to my power, but eventually I did it. And this month I've managed to win in every week as well. So some in the A's, some in the B's, but so I really wanted to win this final stage, and what counts as a win? Just winning one of them, winning the combined time overall, or winning both. So as I was doing that, I decided the only way to get rid of such doubts was to win them both in the same race. And the stage 5B is on the Watopia flat route. At this point, we're on the gradual incline, or around 6 kilometers. I neglected to record the first 5 kilometers, but The only thing that they were remarkable for was how dull they were. So we actually even started with everyone pedaling away at a normal speed. It was utterly freaky, just everyone doing 3.5 watts per kilogram off the start, which is completely unknown for a Zwift race. But the first point of interest is this section here. So we've picked up a power-up on the JWB bridge, which is an aero for everybody, and off goes McAllen, and I decide to follow him. He had a very strong showing in the first race. I think he came second. So obviously strong rider, and I was kind of hoping that someone would make a break for it here and hopefully would drop some of the stronger sprinters maybe. So he makes a break for it. I decide to take up the reins a little bit and help the breakaway, though then stop pedaling by the looks of it, as we establish a little bit of a break. And what I'm hoping for here is a bit of a tactical split where we're in a breakaway that's not really likely to succeed, but people in our group are pushing and people in the chasing group are pushing, and I'm just sitting at the back of either one of those groups, to be honest, but in this instance at the back of the front one. So it all comes back together and we head over the S's and towards the finish, which is the finish in downtown Watopia. I'm not sure whether it's reverse or forward direction in from the S's, but here we go. So I've had trouble with this sprint in the past, always hitting the front before I wanted to, but as we come in, barely pedaling, just trying to stay at the back of this group and keeping an eye on people. So we'll slow it down here, and so we're at 400 meters to go. I'm sat poised waiting to hit it. Someone goes with their aero but don't seem to be making much of an impression. So when someone goes, when we get to 280 meters, it's time for me to hit it no matter what. And because of internet lag, etc., it is really important to keep going all the way to the line, even if you seem to have a gap, because these two come behind me and I do get the win. But when we look at Zwift power, it was only by 1/10 of a second and just less. So probably internet lag explains the differential of what you see on the screen to what actually gets recorded. But yeah, really pleased to get another win in the Z Racing and another month where I won in every stage. Delighted. Okay, cheerio, bye.